You guys remember the game Anthem? Good, because I don't either. It apparently was a game that promised a vast, beautiful world to explore while wearing a fancy, flying power suit. It was so stunningly gorgeous, it convinced us all that the next big thing in gaming was an expensive PowerPoint presentation. From the very beginning, this game had an identity crisis that would make a teenager blush. The developers reportedly couldn't decide if it was a story-driven RPG or a looter shooter. The final product was a Frankenstein's monster of both, with a beautiful story-driven head, attached to a repetitive looter-shooter body that had a severe case of no legs to stand on, and then there was the Frostbite engine, a name that sounds like something you'd get from standing outside without a coat, which is a fitting metaphor for the game's launch. This engine, built for sports games, was about as useful for a flying RPG as a unicycle at the Daytona 500. It caused so many technical issues that, at one point, it was reportedly threatening to brick consoles. Anthem was so committed to being a game changer, it decided to literally change your game console into a paperweight. The launch itself was a masterclass in unintentional comedy. Bugs were everywhere, like digital confetti at a disastrous party. And the endgame content was so barren that players who reached the end of the story were left with a single existential question. Is this it? Is this all there is? And the game was just like, yes, now go do the same 3 missions again. It was like being served a beautifully plated 5-star meal, only to discover the entire meal was a single, slightly stale crouton. In the end, Anthem was a game that flew too close to the sun. It had the fun, core mechanic of Iron Man flight, but forgot that Tony Stark also needed a good plot to be interesting. It's a cautionary tale for the entire industry. You can't build an empire on a wing and a prayer, especially when the wing is bugged and the prayer is for more content. Ultimately, Anthem didn't just fail. It crash-landed in a ditch filled with microtransactions and disappointment.